Big day, big day. Dark maggot today. Oh, I don't know why everyone in the news thinks Trump and Elon Musk lost here. Do you? I don't see why. Trump and Elon Musk won, and they won big time yesterday. This is there's people, you know, they actually, these people in Washington. I think about this now. These people in Washington actually think they have outsmarted President Trump and Elon Musk. What would possess them to think that they're that smart? Elon Musk sends rockets into space. Donald Trump has defeated everything they've ever put up against him, and somehow they think that they beat them. It's insane. They're so full of themselves. But I'll talk about it when we get on. Okay. We'll be starting shortly. We'll be live in just a couple minutes. He most certainly did get him. There's no getting around it. Not only did Trump win, he won big time. This is one of the biggest victories we've ever seen for a president-elect. Okay, I'm still setting up here. I can't believe it's Friday already. The Friday before Christmas. Oh no, this was a massive victory. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and I broadcast on a whole bunch of radio stations. And we'll be live on the radio in just a couple of minutes, taking live calls. Today's also Friday, which means open phones. I'm in dark MAGA mode today. 1, 2, test 1, 2, test 1. Thank God it's Friday. Yep, it's dark MAGA mode today, Mike. I'm in dark MAGA mode for sure. That's right. Tell me yes or no. Did Trump and Elon Musk win with this? I say yes. I'm going to lay out my case on the air. But did they win, yes or no? What would you say? Absolutely. These people. Absolutely. Winning. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. Here we go. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh boy, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be on the air in seconds. Here we go.
954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Welcome to... I'm not hearing myself, Mike. Here we go. All right, now I can hear myself. I have to turn the volume up on my headphones. Welcome to the program. It is Friday, December 20th, the Friday before Christmas. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. All right, well, we got a lot to cover, man. Oh, boy. And if you're on hold, stand by. I want to get into what happened and how Trump and Elon Musk had just a massive victory with this budget business that's going on. And after I make my case, share my thoughts, we'll take some calls. Now, remember, today is Friday. That means open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up, okay? So you can talk about anything on your mind on Friday's show. However, I'm assuming that you guys are going to want to talk about what happened with this budget business. So let me explain what I mean by this, okay? President Trump wants a government shutdown. He truly wants a government shutdown, and I think the reason he wants it are many. However, I've heard members of Congress that have been interviewed say that Mike Johnson has told them that President Trump wants a government shutdown, okay? So let's just get that out of the way. And we could talk about why he wants a government shutdown and all of that too. But look at what's going on here. These idiot, corrupt children that are running the government right now in Congress, you got to understand, President Trump is not the president yet. He's the president-elect, okay? So everything that's going on here is not his responsibility. It's the responsibility of the current administration. However, these idiots in Washington they actually think that they are smarter than Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's the richest man who has ever lived, Elon Musk. He sends rockets into space almost every day. And they come back with people in them. Elon Musk brought back the American manned space program that Obama shut down. One of our callers a couple weeks ago had a great descriptor for Elon Musk and said that he is the Albert Einstein of our time, Elon Musk. No doubt about that. We could spend days just talking about all the great things he's accomplished. So he's, not only is he the richest man in the world, the richest man who's ever lived, Elon Musk, he's also one of the smartest men on the planet. today, no doubt about it. Donald Trump has defeated for 10 years now attacks against him and his family that the government have unleashed on him that are just beyond imagination. The break-ins of his house, the home invasion, the fake arrest, the mugshots, the lawsuits. You know the story. The Mueller report, the dossier, it goes on and on. And he has defeated them each and every time. Each and every time. Okay? And Hakeem Jeffries and Chip Roy and these lunatics think they've beat these two men? They're so stupid. And I'll tell you what they're doing. And these people in Washington are too stupid to understand what it is that they're doing. They're on TV laughing. We got all the pork. We got all the waste. We can pay off all the donors. We're stealing money. What they're doing, these idiots in Washington, right, who are high-fiving each other all night on television and this morning, all day too probably, they're celebrating that they have robbed a bank and they don't have their faces covered, no masks on. They're holding up the bags of loot and saying, look what we stole from the National Treasury. We've robbed the government and we got away with it. Here's the loot. Are you kidding me? These people are so stupid. So the other thing with, I know, President Trump won. Doge and Elon Musk won. Don't let anyone convince you any different. Oh yeah, they got all the money to spend on all this nonsense. Let them have, we used to have a sponsor years ago that was a drug rehabilitation place. Remember this? Some of you may remember. And they had these sober living houses all over South Florida. And sometimes we were at the headquarters, like the corporate offices of this rehab. And I was here early in the morning like I am now, except I was by myself. I didn't have a board out there like Mike's here now. And sometimes people would show up at the studio. You might have seen this on the air once or twice. And they'd have somebody who was tripping, that was on drugs, that they thought the corporate office was like the rehab where they could drop them off because they looked it up online. And they sometimes would have people come in, these rehab counselors, to get them help. And what I learned a lot about drug addicts. The people they were dumping off on the curb, okay? Most of the time, and you'll see the relevance to this, don't worry. Most of the time, they were planning on going to rehab. Do you know what drug addicts do? When, they've decided, they've agreed with their family, today's Friday, so we'll use Friday. Okay, we'll all agree, Friday you're going to rehab. Okay, Friday I'm going to rehab. Do you know what they do the day before? Drug addict, like a Hunter Biden type. They've agreed with the family, they're going to go to rehab on Friday. What do they do on Thursday? They have one last bender. Since I'm going to rehab on Friday, today I'm going to go out and party big time, and they don't just get high, they don't just get drunk, they do it all. And basically, in many instances, sadly, almost OD. That's why you do interventions. Because if you don't do an intervention and just snag them and put them in rehab, they'll go on that last bender and they could die because they OD. Well, that's what's happened with these people in Washington, okay? Rehab comes January 20th. It's not a 28-day rehab. It's a 4-year rehab. So these thieves and money addicts that steal money from the National Treasury, they just had their last bender. And they're junkies, so they got the fix. And they can't even see what they're doing or look at how they're being perceived or what they're bragging about because they got their last fix before our great MAGA king, Donald Trump, is back on January 20th officially as the president. There's much more here, but I do want to take our break on time. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
That's exactly what's going on here. Do you guys agree with my premise so far? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat if you agree with me or not.
This morning, right after 10 a.m., it's all back on the air, right here on South Florida's true Oldies Channel.
The new year is a fresh start, a new beginning. Ring in 2025 and the next generation of luxury and resort. It begins with the inspired Ocean View Dining Experience, a 5
Your weekend.
All right. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. That's right. Oh no, this is awesome. Things are going perfectly. Oh yeah, Trump has a plan. Are you kidding me? You don't get to be as successful as Donald Trump without having a plan. And he does have one. We'll be back shortly. Does not get better, guys. All this winning, get used to it.
Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. Callers on hold, stand by. And this whole thing, oh, well, if they don't have a deal, the government's going to shut down at midnight tonight. I'm under the impression that it's Friday, right? It's Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday. The government shuts down at 5 o'clock this afternoon, doesn't it? Now, doesn't it do that every week? And here's another thing. Christmas is next week. They're shutting down for Christmas. A week later is New Year's. They're shutting down again. So I don't understand why we're supposed to be worried that the government shuts down. It shuts down every weekend, and it's going to be shut down for basically the next 2 weeks anyway, because of this holiday period that we are in. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Yes.
I'm Fred from Stewart, Florida.
Hey, Fred.
Love your show. First time caller.
Oh, here we go.
Just want to say that I.
Oh, here we go. First time caller, the kiss of death.
I'm
Well, no, it wasn't. No, I didn't say you were a liberal, but it wasn't followed with long time listener. That's the kiss of death for read. First time caller, long time listener. Oh, that's the worst. Anyway, what's on your mind from Stuart? Why'd you call today?
I call to say that I support Israel and the Jewish people, and I feel that the hand of God is guiding them, and also our President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, that's right. All right, I guess he's done. I mean, this isn't a place just to call and hang out, but I'll tell you this about Israel. There's all this talk from the left about indigenous people's rights. There are no people more indigenous than the Jews to Israel. The land of Israel belongs to the Jews. We know this because the Bible tells us so. It doesn't get more indigenous than that. All right, let's go. If you're on hold, hang in there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Richie, a million-time caller, million-time listener.
Oh, yeah. That's an old thing. First time caller, long time listener. That's from Neil Rogers, if any of you old Neil Rogers fans. Yeah.
All right, here's the deal. I see things a lot differently than you. You're so hyped up with your black MAGA and your hats and all your costumes that you come on every day. I mean, you're...
Wait a second here. Costume. These are my clothes that I wear. It's not a costume.
No, it's an idol worshiper. Let me just get through. Let me get through this, and I'm going to explain to you what I see happening here. Tremendous victory for Elon Musk and President Trump. Bar none, if this disaster had gone to the floor the way it was, it would have undercut President Trump for the first 2-3 years. It would have destroyed anything he wanted to do. So it had to be defeated. My point is that the Speaker of the House, this has been going on for a year and a half, this bill, by the way. It wasn't overnight. And this Speaker of the House who you defend, who said that this is a plan, this schmuck, and I call him a schmuck, is so weak. He agreed with the Democrats and had this is going to sign into this thing because...
Well, I'll tell you this. President... Oh, I'm sorry, Richie. Finish the monologue.
I wanted to finish this. No, it was supposed to have gone through in October. So he didn't think that President Trump, deep down, he was protecting himself. I don't know whether Trump's going to win or not. So he actually agreed with Jeffries and all these other Democrats, crazy people. Okay, so the bottom line, he's got us in such a damn mess now because here's the situation. You tell me how we're going to get out of this mess when you have 33 Republicans that are against this thing, including this Chip Roy who wants...
Look, Chip Roy, what a weirdo-looking guy. Okay, he looks like... Listen. President Trump, what he has done with his proxy, right, Elon Musk, is he's got... the whole discussion in the country right now is how much waste and thievery is going on by the government, right? The two different budgets, one's a couple hundred pages, one's like 1 million pages, Who does that help? Trump or these lunatics that are robbing the national treasury? It helps Trump. So far as Mike Johnson's been put on warning by Trump. When Trump drops Mike Johnson, I'll drop Mike Johnson.
Well, here's the deal, Brian. How are we going to... Say this is shut down for 30 days. With these Republicans that are against this, even the CR, they're against any kind of a debt increase. And you need a debt increase in this country because he does need tax cuts. Listen, the bottom line is this. If you, and I'll break it down to you, you work hard and you pay a lot of taxes. There are people that don't work and they don't pay taxes. So they're trying to put people back to work by bringing companies back here. You give a corporation a tax incentive to come to the United States, what Trump wants to do, there'll be jobs up to Kazulu. These Democrats just want to give out free stuff to people that don't want to work. And we're in...
Listen, Trump's not the president yet. There's nothing really we can do about this.
happening. I'm questioning.
The only thing we can do is put a spotlight on it.
That's what I was going to say. What is President Trump going to say? We're going to, Elon Musk, we're going to primary you because you won't. This government could be shut down for the next 6 months.
That's awesome. If the government is shut down for 6 months, none of us will notice. It's not going to affect. There's different types of no. Everything is going to function. See, when they had a big government shutdown when Obama was president, and the government was shut down for a while, and then it was shut down so long, people started saying, well, nothing's changed. So Obama started using executive orders to shut things down, like that tourists go to. Like you couldn't drive by Mount Rushmore, right? The open air memorial. If the government shut down for 6 months or a year, that's awesome. It'll help Doge go in and clean it up, because we don't need probably 70, 80% of this nonsense. So no, that's a good thing.
We probably don't need 90% of it. I'm 100% in back of President Trump. Trust me when I tell you this. I just see these guys look, like you said, they look like a bunch of clowns up there yesterday. I mean, and they're blaming each
And that's good.
other, blaming each other.
That's good.
Like they exposed the crap out.
The way I described it at the top of the hour, they're acting like a bunch of bank robbers who have gone on TV with no masks on, holding the loot, and say, "Look what we stole, you idiots! We got your money. We stole it." They're idiots. They don't understand what they're doing.
You know who I respect a lot? Anna Polina from Florida, and I'll tell you why. What she said on the floor yesterday was right. She doesn't support a CR. She's never supported a CR. She supports this one because the other bill was a disaster. So this was just a bridge to get us into next year. So Trump starts with a clean slate, but they don't want to do that. Well, fine. I guess we'll shut.
These guys shutting it down right now is the best, because Christmas is next week. They're going to go home for Christmas. By the time it gets this may not be settled until after January 20th, which is how we want it. Have you ever thought that President Trump is trying to get this shut down so that he can, after the 20th, get it done?
Well, I don't know how he's going to get it done with these Republicans. I'm not talking about the Democrats. I'm talking about us, our own party, with these crazy Massey and these other crazy people. They go along with Trump 100% of them. We're going to have a...
You really think like these idiots like Chip Roy can outsmart Elon Musk and Donald Trump? You really think they're going to...
They're not going to outsmart anybody. Trust me. I know that. And I agree with you 150%. This was the greatest... But it wasn't just Elon Musk. It was people calling in and getting on X and screaming at them. The people that voted for Trump are behind this. And we want this government put right.
All right, Richie, I got to run. I got to take a break. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
If you're on hold, guys, hang in there. These people in Washington are so stupid. They have no idea what they've done. Of course, remember, I knew Phil Hendry. Phil Hendry, he was on, before he went national, he did a local show out of Miami on 610 WIOD. I did not know him well, but I knew him. He was on an episode of Modern Family. He did a radio show. He was kind of like a comedy guy. It's hard to explain. hear it. What was the name of the guy that owned the restaurant in Beverly Hills? Oh, I forgot. Phil Henry is one of the great radio hosts of all time. Is hilarious. He would, I'm not sure how to describe what Phil Henry did. It was a comedy show, okay? And he would, he's a master of voices. He went to Hollywood and did voiceovers for cartoons and stuff. And he would, live on the air, he would be his own callers, and they were these tremendous, or guests. They'd be these tremendous characters, and he would be talking to them, and they sounded like they were on the phone. He had a setup where he could talk on the air in his voice as him, and then do these characters on the phone, and people listening thought these people were real. It was hilarious. I don't really know how to describe it. You'd have to hear it to get it. It was, Phil Henry was amazing. And one of his characters that he did was he used to make fun of a guy that I never got along with, that I worked with at a radio station, Rick Siderman. He hated me, Rick Siderman. He was like, Steve went to middle school with him. Old friend of Steve's, hated me. And he had this weird voice, like, he had a deviated septum, and he talked like this, and he was on the air doing the show every day, and he sounded like this on the radio, which is hard to believe. And Phil Hendry just could not believe, it's Hendry, H-E-N-D, Hendry, could not believe a guy that, oh, this was did a radio show. And one of his characters was him. Oh my gosh. The real guy hated it. He pretended that it was funny, but he hated it. Yeah, I'm sure they're online, some of those shows. Phil Hendry. He did some funny stuff, but he hasn't been on the air for, gosh, 20 years or more. Been a long time. He was local here in Miami, and then he went to LA and went national for a while. We'll be back shortly, guys. If you're on hold, hang in there.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All righty, if you're on hold, hang in there. I'm Brian, it's the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about this great victory President Trump has had with his personal representative, Elon Musk. And I think most people agree with me on this, don't you, if you're MAGA? I think so. All right, let's go back to the phones. Taking these in the order in which they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, Brian. Danielle calling from Michigan.
Hey, what's up, Danielle?
Yeah, good morning to you. Happy Friday. Hey, I'm trusting whatever President Trump is doing. even in regards to Mike Johnson, and I have absolutely no worries. The plan is in place, and if they have to shut it down, then shut it down. They need a shock and awe in that swamp, and I think they're getting it done. So I have absolutely no worries as to.
Well, first of all, the whole idea that these idiots in Washington think that people are bothered that isn't the government shutting down at 5 p.m. on Friday anyway? I don't understand.
Exactly. Shut it down. Who cares? Shut it down. He knows. Trump knows exactly what he's doing.
Listen, here's the deal. When they shut the government down, essential functions continue, no matter what it is, not just the military. All essential functions. See, the problem is for them, when the government shuts down, no one notices. It does not affect our life. What gets shut down are things that the payoffs to the donors and stuff, but it affects none of our lives. It doesn't really shut down. It's a very misleading term.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people get in fear and are all up in arms about it. But you know something? We need change. And we need something, we need to drain it all because it's so corrupt. And I have all the confidence in the world that Trump and Elon, they know exactly what's going on. Exposure is happening too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one thing.
And you know, these are, you know, Elon Musk, he's the richest man in the world, and he's on, and he's trying to save us some money, you know, and I, you know, yeah, and I don't understand why these people think in the media that they know more about finances and money than the richest man in the world.
Exactly. Look what he did. Look how much he cut from the company. What did he cut? 80% or something like that from the company. What is it? X. And it's functioning and working wonderfully. He's brilliant. They have a plan. We must trust it. I'm excited. And hey, I got to make a comment real quick. The other day, real quick, you were talking about your AC and everything, and I just wanted to say something. The way you spoke about being there and not letting Kathy deal with any of the people that come into your home and everything, you are such a great man. I just wanted to say that to you. That is what a man should be doing for his wife. God bless you, Brian.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Great compliment. All right, take care. Oh, before we go back to the phones, Neil Cavuto was fired from Fox. Yesterday was his last show. If you have any thoughts on that, I know a lot of people are saying he wasn't fired. Yeah, he was fired, okay? I'll tell you what they did. They offered him, they did not renew his current contract. They offered him a contract with a reduction in salary. We don't know how much, but it was reportedly a dramatic reduction in salary. And he said no, and he quit. A lot of times when someone has, and some of you may have experienced this or seen it happen. If you go to a retail store, right, and they want to fire someone, they don't always fire them, because if they fire them, they got to pay unemployment. They don't want to pay unemployment, so they try to get them to quit. So what do? They reduce their hours. I know I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's what a lot of employers do. They reduce their hours, so they quit. They do things to get them to quit, so they don't have to pay unemployment benefits. Well, that's kind of what Fox did to Neil Cavuto. They wanted to get rid of Blimpie here. He's a jerk, Trump hater. But they didn't want to fire him. I don't know why. I mean, maybe they did want to fire him, but they thought that was a more difficult path for whatever reason. So they offer him a reduced contract, and he said, no, I'm worth more than that, and he quit. So he was fired. He was let go. And I have not watched Neil Cavuto in years. He did when President Trump, this was after January 6th, not long after, I don't remember how many days after, but it was probably the week of. And President Trump, he was still in his first term, was speaking from the White House. He was outside, It was live during Cavuto's show. And Cavuto cut away from President. You've heard me tell this story a bunch of times. It's very important because that's what this jerk is all about. Okay? President Trump gets ready to speak. Neil Cavuto cuts away. He says, we're cutting away because the President of the United States is about to speak and he could incite violence. That was it for me with Neil Cavuto. I was out. Never gone back to that jerk. And what I would suspect is going on is this. And this is, by the way, what's happening elsewhere. It's being reported that they're offering Joy Reid a new contract at a reduced salary. They really want her to quit. They don't want to fire a black woman because they'll be called racist, even if it's a black person that fires them. This is what I think is going on in media. A lot of these MSNBC's programming and very well Neil Cavuto, the advertising dollars are dried up for MSNBC and maybe Cavuto's show too could have the same impact. And what I mean is this. The Never-Trumpers have been supporting anti-Trump content for years online and on television so that they could spread their slanders against President Trump and defeat him. President Trump cannot be defeated ever again. He just won his second term. Presidents only get 2 terms. So since they failed, these Never-Trumpers that are supporting them financially through advertising, and it could be regular companies, they could be selling cupcakes, National Cupcake Company. You understand what I mean? It could be a national car ad. The Never-Trumpers have been funneling advertising dollars to these Never-Trumpers on television and online to keep them going. And they're not supporting them anymore because it's not just that they failed. There's nothing they can do to stop Trump now. He can't be defeated ever again. And that's one of the things that's going on. I'm not sure that's happened with Cavuto. It may have had an impact. But, you know, Fox has a permanent station now, a permanent place near Mar-a-Lago. When you see them reporting from Mar-a-Lago, they're up high. And I know there's you can see a church. It's a Greek Orthodox church behind them. They got a permanent. They've got like permanent office space. Fox News there now with Mar-a-Lago as a backdrop. I don't know if they're renting it. I'm not sure. Or their space. They have a whole office, but they have a permanent space here. Fox is retooling themselves for the second term of Trump, and this Never-Trumper Neil Cavuto. There's no place there for him. So I believe he was fired in an indirect way. Your thoughts are certainly welcome on that as well. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Buzz, Cape Coral.
Hey, what's up, Cape Coral?
Yeah, no, we went over quite a few things that I was going to say, but and I agree with the same thing. But one thing too is, you know, with shutting the government down, who cares? Just think COVID all over again. What did they do? How long were we shut down?
Exactly.
Yeah, just let Trump get in there. Let Elon, Vivek get in there.
I mean, you know, all these people that keep warning us of a government shutdown, have they told us anything that would affect us by a government shutdown in a negative way? I haven't heard anything.
No, not a bit. And leave it go. Throw them a towel, get the violin out, start playing it, and let the tears flow. So.
Exactly. The only thing with the government shutdown, if you're into Netflix usually goes down during government shutdowns because the government employees are overloading the system so much it crashes. But so many of them are working at home now. It probably won't even affect that. You know, I mean, how many of the government aren't even working? They're at home, and you know they're not working at home all day. They're milking the clock. They're goofing off on the government salary, working from home.
Yeah, no, that's coming to the end. You know, my boy works for the government. He's at home. He
he gets a lot of stuff done. He says, yeah, he says, I can't stand a lot of these people, all the work that they don't do. He says, I'm taking over for them and making them look good. And he says, I can't wait to get back in the office.
Oh, really? Wow. All right. Hey, Cape Coral, huh? Where do you listen to us? Online or on the radio?
YouTube.
On YouTube. You watch it on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm trying to get I've tried to find the radio station.
I'm not sure what station we're on in Cape Coral. I got to check. I forgot we're on so many. I've forgotten which one, but I'll find out.
Yeah, I know. I keep scanning and I can't get it. But so.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. You too. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our last break of the first hour. It is Open Phones, Open Mega Mike Friday. I want to remind you guys, hey, if you need tires, don't put it off. You know, before we found Friendly Tire in Margate, I used to put off tires until I absolutely had to get them because they were expensive. Then I found Friendly Tire. You know, you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $70 a tire on common sizes on some of the most popular vehicles on the road. And when I say out the door and on the road, Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tires. So the price he quotes you over the phone is out the door and on the road. He has thousands of used tires in stock too at even lower prices. But the new tire prices are so low, you know, it doesn't really make sense to buy a used tire when you can get a brand new tire for as low as $70 a tire out the door and on the road. He has all the name brands you love too, Michelin, Pirelli's. He has great run flats. Whatever type of vehicle you have, including Teslas, he can help you with. Here's his number. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. He also does tire repairs, 954-977-9445, 954-977-9445. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
The largest Kia year-end salesman.
Welcome, everyone. If you are new, make sure you subscribe.
Just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot.
Make that switch to City Kia.
The largest year-end sell-a-thon ever is going on right now at City Kia. If you're looking for a new Toyota, Honda, Chevy, or any other, stop. Please don't.
The Philippines, welcome.
Beats a City Kia deal. Nobody. The largest discounts ever offered are available now. Save up to $17,000 on a new City Kia. Interest rates as low as 0%. New Kia Sportage for only $149 a month. New Kia K4s for only $189 a month. All offers on select terms and models with approved credit. Upside down on your trade, 10, 12, 15,000. City Kia to the rescue. The largest Kia year ever is happening right now. Location, City Kia, Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Hurry, it's City Kia's year-end happy holiday. Visit us at citykia.com.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't you take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Richie Gupta. I go 139 miles today. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. It's a lot cheaper than any. And no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the hammer. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Elon is the voice of the people. That's correct. And he is President Trump's personal representative.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center.
I thought that I was going to have an easy Friday, and then I just got a whole list of crap I got to do today.
Loss of balance, muscle twitching, have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes.
I know, 5 days until Christmas.
Financing? Yes, all year. Call us today at 833 All Year. That's 833 All Year.
If you paid taxes, you would understand.
Warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Oh man, somebody during the break was in our chat room is what's good about a shutdown, and I said to them, if you paid taxes, you would understand. I'm self-employed, so I've got to pay income taxes, right? But I've also got to pay payroll taxes. Any of you out there self-employed? Oh my goodness, you have to pay income taxes and payroll taxes. And I got a call earlier this week out of the blue from my accountant that they miscalculated my pay. I'm not going to tell you how much it was. It was a lot. They miscalculated my payroll taxes. I pay every quarter, right? Every couple of months, I send money to the accountant for my payroll taxes. And they miscalculated this year, and I had to give them a check or pay a lot of fines to the government. And it was not a small check, okay? And I'm not a rich guy. You think I work all the time and live stream 7 days a week at 2 in the morning and stuff because I'm rich, I'd still live stream and do the show, but I probably do a little less. Might take a day off every once in a while. So if you paid taxes, you would understand. And, when I had to give this check to the accountant this week, the way I always think about it is, how much work did I have to do for that? And that's how you think about it. It sucks, okay? When I didn't make any money and had no money and didn't pay any taxes whatsoever, and I'd still get refunds even though I paid no taxes, I didn't care about how much the government spent because it wasn't my money. But I work a lot just to give money to the government in the form of taxes in one way, shape, form, or another, and I'm not alone in that. A lot of people do that. And it sucks. It's not fun. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Now, it is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. On Friday's show, the show prep is up to you all right? Monday through Thursday, it's like herding cats a lot, but I try to keep you guys talking about what we're talking about. On Friday, we turn the show prep over to you. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show, but I know a lot of you got this budget thing on your mind, and I have some things I want to bring up on top of that as well. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
There's fear of a government shutdown from both sides. The Democrats fear it because if the government shut down and if people find out that they don't need the government, then they don't need the Democrats. The Republicans' fear of a shutdown is based on political things. They're going to get blamed for it, right?
No, you're wrong. I mean, you're completely wrong. The ones that oppose the Trump Elon Musk budget, these are people that are owned by the donors. When these donors, don't take any offense, Mike, it's like dealing with the mob, okay? And they spend a lot of money. My wife is Italian, okay? My wife's Italian. I'm kidding, but they're like the mob. They give you a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to get elected to the House of Representatives, a lot, okay? And those donors aren't charitable givers. And when they donate money, they want things back. They're often referred to as earmarks. Earmarks are things they put in the bill that seem stupid. Okay, but it's to donors. They owe the donors that finance their campaigns. So the reason that these people do this on both of political parties is they're afraid of the donors. They made promises, and they've got to. The donors want their money. It's a money laundering operation. Okay, they donate as much money as campaign federal finance laws allow, right? And the Congress gives it back to them many times over. Like if you ever watch the money laundering movie, like To Live and Die in L.A., they got the counterfeit money and they'll get 10 or 15 cents, maybe 20 cents on the dollar, right? They donate you 20 cents, 15 cents to your campaign to get elected, right? They want $100 for every 20 cents. in government contracts. That's what it is. That's what they're in a panic. They owe money to the mobsters of the donor class. And that's why they're in a panic. I give an example. Okay. When Trump threw out the Iran deal, before he did it, and he was about to do it, John Kerry was running all over the place like he was going to get his head chopped off trying to save it, because he made promises to the Islamic Republic of Iran about the Iran deal, and he was about not to lose it, you know, because Trump was canceling it. The deal was getting canceled. They make deals with very bad dudes, and they want their money.
Right, and that's the thing. But again, this is these people that always, the party was always afraid of their own shadow, right? Anything that would happen, it could hurt us. We could lose the Senate. We could lose the House. It could hurt.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with you. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, though. No, I disagree with everything Mike said. Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richard in Pompano.
Hey, Richard.
Okay, try and follow this scenario. I am so thrilled that Trump is president, and I know 4 years from now he can't run again. Okay, can you hear me all right?
I can. I'm listening.
Okay, that's all. Okay, so after 3.5 years, he's standing next to Vance, and he's giving a speech, and he says, "I have an announcement to make." Vance is going to tell you people, the public. And Vance approaches the microphone and says, no, Trump says, "I'm going to nominate Vance as president. Please support him." And then Vance gets up to the microphone and says, "I am nominating Trump to be vice president. I need his counsel and advice." Can Trump keep going after another 4 years that way?
You know, I doubt. I don't know if. Well, I would say no. I remember when Bill Clinton's second term was coming to an end, before we had the nominations and all that stuff. We had, Steve and I had on the show the head of the DNC, and he wanted to nominate, this was leading up to the 2000, he wanted to nominate Hillary Clinton and have Bill Clinton run as her vice president. But I don't think that's possible, because if there was an emergency, they couldn't take presidential powers. It'd be illegal. It'd be chaos. No. Trump could not be JD's vice president. I don't think they would allow that. Even if it's legal, I don't think they would allow it.
Anything in the cabinet. Let's put it that way.
Could he have a cabinet position? Yes. There was John Adams, after he was president, was in the House of Representatives. And there was one president, I can't remember which one, there was one president who went on to become Chief Justice of the Supreme Court after he was president. So yeah, they can have other jobs, but they just can't be president again.
Right.
But President Trump and Elon are going to have influence for the rest of their lives in the Republican Party, just because they're these overpowering personalities that have so much support. All right, appreciate the call. I know he's living in a fantasy land. I know. Let's see here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Joe from Royal Palm.
Hey, Joe.
Morning. And, I haven't called you since before Trump won, so I'm happy to call back. It's been a minute, but yeah, the Republicans and Democrats don't care. If it wasn't for Trump, they'd be doing the same, kicking can down the road, and Elon saying, no, we got to do this now. Let the government close, see what happens, and let it happen. You got to start somewhere, right? Might as well pull the Band-Aid off before he starts the term. They're going to blame him anyway, no matter what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know your take on that one.
Yeah, this is what it was like to be a Republican before Trump. They were always caving, and the Republican Party before Trump was a total fraud.
I know. They've always been spineless, and for a reason. You pointed out the earmarks and donor classes. It's so corrupt, but finally people can see we don't need the government to take care of every little thing, because it could work for a couple of months without it being open,
And people are gonna.
Well, some of the now that this is dragging out, some of the earmarks are coming out, like COVID relief. We're finding out that all these hip hop rappers have been using the government money to spend millions on private jets and trips around the world and everything else. I mean, it's starting. Some of the earmarks are starting to come out now, and it's sick.
I heard that they were using the AI to run the bills through to really get like the breakdown of the 1,600 pages, so that
Yeah.
the people voting on it can actually.
Yeah, but I hope it's the AIs that I know about are pretty left wing. So I hope that Elon Musk has. Yeah, we need Elon to have an AI because if you go to the AIs that are out there, they all hate Trump.
It's whoever programs the AI is the one who's going to have to say. But
How intelligent is artificial intelligence if it's a Democrat?
not at all. It's I don't want to say the word. What kind of intelligence it would be on the radio?
That's right. Don't. Hey, listen, we're out of time for the hour. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. It's open phones on Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind's fair game on Friday at 888-465-2631. 1 hour down, 2 to go. We'll be right back. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, what do all the liberals say? There's no party like the Diddy party? What does that mean? Oh, my goodness. I thought I got up really early today. I did a TV interview yesterday, national television interview. It was pre-recorded. It is not aired yet. After it airs, if I look good, I'll give you guys the link. If you're a Patreon supporter, you know. I put it up on the Patreon page. So Patreons, don't share that information, if you don't mind. Taft was the Supreme Court.
Tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Market on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Florida's longest running radio show. If you're on hold, stand by. 2 openings on the board at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday, although mostly what we've been talking about is President Trump's incredible victory with Elon Musk over this budget business. And I'll just go back to the phone. I'll take these in the order in which they were received. I got a lot of stuff to bring up, but since it's open phones, I'll take some calls first. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Michael from Palm Beach Gardens.
Hey, what's up?
Do you remember the infamous 600-page Obama Affordable Care Act? Do you think Trump will try to repeal that?
I don't know how much of that. It was 600 pages. It was like 600,000 pages. It was massive.
Yeah, and the other thing is that nobody ever read that thing and voted on it. That was the other.
You know, I remember. Let me tell you what a nasty person Obama is. Okay, Obama had. I don't know if you'll probably remember this. Before Obamacare was passed, he was having a difficult time getting it passed, and Obama made a lot of mistakes. But he did want, and everything failed. That's why they had to do something to get John Roberts to change his opinion on the court. But in 2010, but Obama did something that no president had ever done before. And he had a live at the Blair House, which is the guest house of the White House, across the street from the White House. He had a live sit-down meeting with the Republicans in Congress who were opposing Obamacare. And remember Eric Cantor? He was one of the big Republicans. I don't know if he, Cantor, you think he was he a Jewish Republican? I don't know, with a name like Cantor. And Cantor kept sharing things about, and Obama said, that's not in the bill, that's not there. And Cantor's, I'm reading it right here. And Cantor, Eric Cantor, top Republican, humiliated Obama live on television over the Obamacare bill. And what happened to Eric Cantor, do you know?
Who knows?
They ran him out of Congress. They got rid of him because he humiliated Obama. These people are nasty, nasty, nasty. I mean, they are just, look at this news story. There's a news story coming out of the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal that Biden was senile from day one, that he has not been running the country at all. Now, I know all of you are saying, well, we know all this. Well, now we got the New York Times reporting on it. And you know how many crimes have been committed? With these pardons, just to talk about the pardons, there really should be, Kash Patel and Pam Bondi should bring in a forensic handwriting expert, examine the signatures on these pardons, and find out if Biden really signed them or if someone else did. And if someone else did, that person's not pardoned.
Hey, by the way, Brian, I'm signed up with Rocky with the Angel Water, and I'm on the Trump Victory Cruise with you.
Oh, great. What's your first name again? Michael. Awesome. Yeah, isn't Rocky a nice guy? Good MAGA guy?
Really great, yeah.
Yep. All right, take care. Well, let me know. Take care. Yeah, see, the Angel Water. It's awesome, guys. And he's going on the MAGA cruise. I look forward to that. I do. Okay, let's see here. Who's next in line? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Mike from Houston. How are you?
All right, what's up, Houston?
Hey, I just want to say that, I do hope the government goes into shutdown. We've been through this before. I think Clinton had 2 shutdowns during his term, and of course we had the one back in 2018 under President Trump. We learned that nothing bad would happen. All the essential services will continue to be funded, Border Patrol, ICE, Defense. What gets shut down are the useless agencies that lead to governmental bloat, Department of Education, Health and Human Services, HUD, Commerce. Those agencies, they're just parasites on the government budget. So,
well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Don't lose your thought. When there's a government shutdown, they don't tell you this because they don't want you to. It's a limited government shutdown. Even if they say a department shuts down, anything that's needed from that department's still running. Nothing that.
I was working on tax staff at one point during the 2018 shutdown, and I had some clients that needed some tax work done with the IRS. And I knew these involved seizure, asset forfeitures. And I was like, I know for a fact IRS is going to keep that subunit operating because it's money coming into them. And I found a way to work around, and I found a way to get into that little group. But what I'm getting at, you're exactly right. The core essential functions of these agencies are continuing to be funded. Personally, having done a lot of government contracting up in D.C.,
I would say easily about 65 to 70% of most of your staffing is unnecessary.
Do you know of something? Do you have an example of something that would be shut down specifically, like a specific job or service? No, nobody does. I haven't heard anybody's. No one does.
I was up there on a contract in 2018. Yeah, was it 2018? Yeah, I was up there in 2018. And I was on contract with the Marshal Service, and I think they were still even though I was technically a finance analyst, I think they were still fully staffed because again, that's law enforcement. I honestly, yeah, I can't.
Nothing. I haven't heard a single person in the media that's griping about this give an example of something specific.
Yeah. Yeah, I again, even if, to my way of thinking, we have so much governmental bloat. We've got to start cutting it. We can't sustain this any longer. I mean, I would tell you something. The federal government up in Washington, D.C., if it weren't for the federal government, most of those government workers are unemployable to begin with. They aren't well educated. They're not particularly bright. They're not really employable in the private sector.
Yeah.
They go into the public sector working for the federal government. And they are some of the most incompetent people I have ever worked with.
Well, because there's never standards. There's never accountability.
You can't get rid of them. And I could tell you horror stories, Brian. I won't because I know your time is of the essence with you. But like I said, it is just. It's a colossal sinkhole of budget. I'm sure you've seen the original Ghostbusters. Okay, there's a funny scene in the beginning where the three guys get fired from the university, and they're sitting, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Harold Ramis, and they're okay, well, I guess we're going to have to go get a job. And I think it's Dan Aykroyd, he says, because they just got fired from the university, he says, I've worked in the public sector. You haven't. They expect results, and it's a funny, and he's freaking out. I remember one time my nominal supervisor gave me some work to do, and I came back within probably one full working day of having completed, and she was just shocked. And she goes, well, by normal standards, that would have taken you a week to do. And so that's kind of the mindset up there is don't do anything quickly, drag it out as long as you can. That's not how it is in the private sector, man. The private sector, time is of the essence. Time is money. You get in there, you get it done right on the first pass, and you collect.
Well, this is what there's many things going on here. Trump has a plan. He knows what he's doing. And this is part of it. Elon Musk, I believe, is probably one of the most intelligent people alive today. I mean, does anybody disagree with that? I mean, come on, And this is one of the things I think that Elon's thinking. Okay, because I believe President Trump wants the government shut down. Elon will keep track of what's shut down and how it hasn't affected things, and it'll help Doge cut out government waste. To find out, yeah.
A nice baseline.
Yes.
Hey, I'm getting off something else. Are you going to go to the inauguration?
No. And I'm recommending no one do that. I would not go to Washington.
Well, we're going to be up there. We still have family up there, so we're going to. And I'm thinking my wife isn't too keen on going, but I just want to go down there just to watch these people's heads explode.
No. I will be watching on TV. I'll be watching on TV here in Florida. I am not going to the inauguration. I would recommend people do not go to the inauguration. No, don't. No. And now I will go to Washington. I'm telling people not to go. Okay. And I'll tell you, and you can figure out why. I don't have to explain. But I am planning on, I love everything in Washington, the Smithsonian and all that stuff. And I have not been since Trump left. When Trump's back in office and the cold weather is over, I'll be going to Washington quite a bit. But no inauguration. I'm not going. I would recommend no one go.
Taking into consideration, like I said, I was born and raised up there, and the thought occurred to me, I've never been to one. All the years, I'm 64 now, but I lived up there for 54 years, never went to one. And I thought, well, this is one inauguration I definitely want to go see. This is my guy.
You'll see it. You will see it better on the television.
Yeah, true. All right, take care, Brian, but hey, love talking with you.
All right, take care. We'll be right back. That guy's called me at least once before about going. I say no. No.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon with a subtle reminder that I'm back on the air this morning right after 10 a.m. with more of your favorite oldies on South Florida's True Oldies channel. Sloman's and their free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer is here. Yep, finally some great news. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you can get a doorbell camera. The first 40 True Oldies listeners who call 833-283-5050 will get this limited time offer of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with installation of your Sloman Shield. And that's not all. Sloman's will give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, 10 contacts, backup battery, and service plan. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies listeners to call 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with installation of your Sloman Shield. Keep your family safe. Call 833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, so keep Joe up there, and I'll do that at the end. Well, welcome. If you're new, this is where Maggot comes to talk. Subscribe. You'll love the show.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours for one of those big labs. That's why I have any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca.
Made in Australia. Welcome.
Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention
We're coming right back.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. Here in Boca on 95.3 FM. Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. Before we go to the phones, I want to say something about this government shutdown after I tell you about Lighthouse Medical. You know, neuropathy is living torture. You know, I didn't realize, I've heard of neuropathy and I've heard people talk about it over the years, but not until I saw it in Steve Kane did I really understand what it was. It is living torture. It makes life unbearable. the pain, the dizziness, you become homebound. You know, I don't know if people can be given neuropathy, but instead of doing waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay, if they would have given those Al-Qaeda neuropathy, they would have sung like canaries and told us where bin Laden was on September 12th. It's that bad. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I've been waterboarded. We did it as a stupid thing I did at an appearance years ago. It's not fun, but you know it's going to end. Neuropathy's awful. We found Lighthouse Medical 2.5 years ago. They treated Steve. His neuropathy symptoms are gone. And 2.5 years later, they still have not returned. No matter where you're located, they can help you. They're located in Pompano. Give them a call at 754-222-6642. Make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. A lot of times, people have a spouse, a parent, a grandparent that has neuropathy, and they make the appointment for them. It's a free consultation. Do it. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, there's one opening on the board. I had a run-in with the police on the way to the radio station this morning. I don't know if should I? I don't know. Maybe I'll tell it later. Maybe we'll talk about it later. But I'm here, and I got lucky. All right, let's go. There's one opening on the board. I'm taking these in the order in which they were received. And remember, it is Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Cassandra. Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I'm glad you didn't get in trouble with the police anyway.
It was a close one. Let me tell you, I got lucky.
Okay, good. Another good day of good news. Neil Cavuto's gone, man. That's great. And now there's a list of all the people who went against President Trump's budget bill. I call it the enemy list, and I'm really surprised with Chip Roy of all of them. I used to like Chip Roy, but I guess he's not what I thought he was. But now these people are going to have to pay the price. You know, they're going to be hopefully worked on to not be voted in again, and we'll clean up.
Exactly. I appreciate the call, Doug. You know, I wanted to say this before we go back to the calls. I meant to mention this after I told you about Lighthouse Medical, and I forgot. So the government's going to shut down. They're telling us this is a disaster. The government will be shut down. And Elon Musk and Trump are responsible. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, who's on our side, his two primary businesses are Tesla and SpaceX. Both of those are pretty much funded by the federal government. SpaceX is a government contract, the whole thing, right? He's not some privateer launching rockets. He's a subcontractor. And that's some expensive stuff he's doing. All those rockets and everything he's launching, some of them blow up and everything else. And Tesla, because it's an EV, there's all kinds of federal subsidies to that. Do you really think if Elon Musk, he's pushing to shut down the government to get our way, only essential services are shut, do you think if it was going to shut down SpaceX and Tesla, he'd be jumping for... It's not going to affect Tesla or SpaceX. Because when the government shuts down, Elon Musk is proof of that, nothing really gets shut down. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. Hey, Jupiter, what's up?
Oh, man, I will go back a little bit about people getting laid off and fired. If you're fired or quit, you cannot draw unemployment. You have to be laid off.
I think you can get it. I've never collected unemployment, but I think you can get it if you're fired. If you quit, you can't. It depends on why. No, if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's not my understanding. But that's okay.
Check it out.
No, I don't really care enough to check it out.
Well, it's not that hard, but anybody in the trades will tell you.
I don't believe that's true.
Fine. Have a good one.
All right. Guy's been holding on for like 22 minutes to tell me that. Oh. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, long time no hear. Jay from Jersey.
Oh, hey Jay. How's the how you doing now? We defeated Willie Brown's wino girlfriend. We've got the greatest president ever reelected. It's a great day to be alive.
Yeah, we got a nice new puppet. Yeah, I know. Well, listen, I just heard you talk about how, Elon Musk, the word just told Trump what to do. You said that it's not going to hurt his businesses. Did you look into the fact that NASA gets shut down?
No, NASA does not get shut down. It doesn't. Where? In your book of what?
Google it. Just Google it.
No.
Right now while we're on the phone.
No.
Smart.
No, I'm not going to Google it.
You're not going to Google it, but I'm telling you, I did. Because you asked.
It doesn't. NASA does not get shut down.
You know.
No, it doesn't.
NASA came up.
Well, with all due respect, you're wrong. Essential services do not. Can I finish my thought? I mean, if white privilege exists, as it does in your mind, can I invoke it? Essential services do not shut down. NASA is involved in many essential services, maintaining satellites around the earth that do all kinds of things. Now, that's NASA. There's some things that NASA does that are not vital. Like they have a bunch of scientists studying global warming. They might not get funding.
You're not smart enough to catch on. Since you can't catch it. So NASA shut down. We're not going to shut down the people who's keeping the satellites in the sky. You know what I'm saying? And you asked a question earlier. Were you happy about what Trump did by shutting down the government? That was the first question you asked early this morning when I was watching, because I go back and forth with you. Indeed.
Yes.
Said yes. And the rest of them said no. And the rest, out of 563 people, didn't even answer.
Well, here's my question, okay? What? One more. Okay.
Why did Musk, Mr. Smart behind President Trump, what to do? Gonna get really good. I can't wait.
What's the question?
Musk have to tell Trump what to do.
Oh, because that's not the truth. Oh yeah, the talking point. Okay, here's my question. Listen, here's my question. Talking point. MSNBC talking point. Here's my question. Say the government shuts down tonight at midnight. Okay, what will I not be able to do? How will it personally affect me? How will I notice that the government shut down?
You may not notice.
Oh, okay. What about you? What about you then?
My own business. So let me explain to you.
What No, the welfare checks and food stamps still come.
Get paid. No.
Who? Who won't get paid? Who does not get paid?
Will not get paid.
Who?
Government employees that will be furloughed.
Good.
Don't get paid.
Good.
Okay? And
well, first off, that's not true. If they don't get a check, no, it is not. If they don't get a check, I don't care. They're government employees. They get it when the government reopens. They get all the. Excuse me. When the government reopens, they get all the money.
Some of them government employees voted for that nut.
I don't care if they don't get paid. I'm
going to be happy for every government employee that voted for President Trump.
Yes.
Does not get a paycheck. I'm going to be happy too.
They still get paid.
Ask for it. You got it.
They still get paid. The military, they still get paid.
No.
Excuse me. The military are listen, I'm not going to turn the show over to you. Either we're going to have a conversation or not, and I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Okay. The military, they still get paid. Federal agents still get paid. People like that still get paid. Who in the government will not get paid? It's dead air.
I'm Elon, running the country.
So you have no answer. Are you drunk?
Elon Musk is...
Okay, all right, I appreciate that. See, they think, the Trump derangement syndrome, they don't understand. They don't understand. They think that that's going to get the Trump's ego or something. These guys, he's the first bud. So he couldn't give an example. He says the government workers aren't going to get paid. I told him he was getting paid, and he couldn't give us an example of a government worker who's not getting paid. Talking to Democrats with their talking points, it's like trying to have a conversation with a telemarketer when they're calling to sell you something. You get them off the script and they're done. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
He sounded incoherent, didn't he? Incoherent. Incoherent.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
We're supposed to know something about another person running
Yeah.
the country and not their president. We got a Siegel next.
Mm-hmm.
So I got news yesterday. We're getting a
Remember,
new,
we're on camera.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We're getting a new traffic and weather thing, so it's gonna be all automated.
Oh, you're not gonna do
because-
the weather anymore?
No one here is gonna have to do it. It just gets automatically uploaded into the system every morning.
The traffic too?
Yep. So it's gonna be a whole new thing. But that means also for hurricane season, next year for hurricane seasons, I'm sure we'll still have them on but they're just gonna update it. We don't have to rush to figure out hour to hour. It's just gonna be automatically put in. So I think they said by the end of the year, but at least for sure in the start of next year.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. So
Yeah.
It was fun though.
Yeah, well, it happens.
With that experience though.
Yeah.
I did the weather for the morning for this.
Exactly. We're in a commercial break, that's why, Dominic. Sometimes during the commercials, no, it's a professional weather and traffic person. It's not AI. During the commercials, sometimes I take a break. All the talking I do, and when the show's over, I got more talking to do.
Sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We had private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more.
You always have to, people forget. Remember The Real World when it first came on? Watch what happens when they forget the cameras are on. That's what's like. People forget, that we're streaming and they can hear everything.
Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
We'll be back right after this.
Just $14.88 and never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88 and free shipping on orders over $75. So go to mypillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard MyPillow, which is $14.88, the lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, 34 minutes after the hour. It is Open Phones, Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. However, we've been mostly talking about the exciting government shutdown that's about to happen. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi,
Yes.
Maria from Montana.
Hey, Montana. What's on your mind?
I have a question that's something that's bothered me. Nobody's brought up the word treason, and I'm wondering, are we going to talk about Biden, Harris, for the going against what they constitutionally swore to do, which is to protect our borders, number one. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, okay. The thing about treason with Biden, yesterday I made reference to this earlier in the show, okay? And I didn't get to why they're doing it. The New York Times is reporting this week, and you may have heard the story. This is the New York Times, liberal, Democrat, New York Times. All the liberal crap that's fit to print, right? The New York Times is reporting that not only is Joe Biden in a severe state of cognitive decline, he was that way from day one, that he has not been the president, he's not been running the country. It was in the New York Times yesterday, right? Now you may say we all knew that, but the liberals never admitted it. And not only did the New York Times report it, some of the CNN crew have been talking about it. Why do you think the New York Times all of a sudden is reporting that Joe Biden was mentally unfit from his first day in office? Why do you think they're doing that?
I'm going to assume so they can't bring. Well, this is the same what they did with him and try to bring him up in charge.
It gives him protection. It gives him protections. He wasn't in control. He wasn't running anything. He was mentally incompetent. Yes, that's correct.
What about Miss Harris and how about?
You don't want to get in a position that we start arresting presidents and vice presidents and charging them with treason. That's just a very dangerous thing to do.
Sure, especially with who's in office, yeah.
But a lot of people, a lot of our MAGA brothers and sisters want to try everyone for treason. Okay, you start. Come on, I mean, you start. Look what they've done to Trump. It is a very bad idea. If you started arresting and charging presidents and vice presidents with treason when the next party comes in, that would be the new normal. Everybody would get charged with treason. It's a very dangerous precedent to do.
That's fair.
I know a lot of people say, are they above the law? Yes.
According to their needs.
Now, with that being said, that doesn't apply to, say, Liz Cheney, who was doing all kinds of business. I'm talking about presidents and vice presidents and first ladies. You know, when people were chanting Hillary Clinton, lock her up, I told people at the time, you don't want to do that. You lock up Mrs. Clinton, they'll be locking up Mrs. Trump down the road. Okay, that's how these people operate. Yes, they are. These people are above the law. I'm not saying that's right or it's constitutional, but I live in the real world, not in the world of, what I would like to be. You got to live in the real world, not in the world of should.
Well, and we don't have the rules in place that we have. I mean, look at the standards for letting everybody in the world in.
Well, Mayorkas is another deal. Okay, Mayorkas is a whole nother deal, okay? Something's up with that guy. Shift. She said shift. The new Senate. Shift. Yes. Shift. No, oh my goodness. She just had to say it, didn't she? I mean, she just had to say it. Maybe we should charge you with stupidity, lady. I mean, my goodness. What's the crime for stupidity? Just classless. Something's up with Mayorkas. What it is, I don't know. But he's not letting all these people in just because. He's doing it for a reason. And what that is, I don't know. Now, I was mentioning earlier that Neil Cavuto was fired. I know that's not the official story, and they offered him a contract. Neil Cavuto's fired. He's out. I never really liked Neil Cavuto, even before he started trashing Trump. Okay? But, I mean, I just never liked the guy. I don't think he had much of a personality. I don't understand what he contributed. And have you ever seen him standing up? I haven't seen him standing up for a long time, but his body, he's taller, but he's got a body like Danny DeVito's Penguin from Batman, kind of like that. There was, for someone to be on television, there's got to be some likability to them. He contributes nothing. He's not interesting. He's not likable, Neil Cavuto. I don't know why he's been there so long. And he was in management. I don't know if he currently is, but he was in management. He was like running at one time the Fox business. So I don't know if that's the case anymore. And what they plan on replacing him with, I don't know. Usually what they do at Fox, but that doesn't mean they'll do it this time, is they do a rotation of people and then they decide. I don't know. I mean, I think they're recrafting their format to be, ready for the next Trump term. There's all this talk about cable news and what's the future of cable news. It's not going anywhere. It's regardless of what people tell you. People that follow news and politics still watch it from time to time. I don't watch television news often unless there's breaking news. Okay, But, I do watch it on occasion. I will say on Fox, if I'm around a television, I do check in with outnumbered every once in a while. I don't mind outnumbered. They go through kind of like a roundup of what's going on in the middle of the day. I'll watch some of that once or twice a week. The thing about the news, though, the cable news, for me personally, the reason I'm not into it are two reasons. I don't like all that never Trumperism around, but it's too slow for me. Right? There's very little they're covering that I don't know everything about already. So for people to watch cable news today, there has to be something that the personality is offering. And is this a question? I was talking to my wife about this on our podcast yesterday. The cable news you watch, is it because of the news or is it because of the personality? Like, I like Jesse Waters. I like Greg Gutfeld, who's MIA. I don't know what's going on with Gutfeld since his baby was born, but, I think that it's more personality driven than it used to be. There really aren't any TV news stars like we used to have. I know Jesse Waters is very popular, but the last, and I'll throw this out to you guys. You don't have to agree with this, but the last, people talk, who's the last movie star? A lot of people say it's Tom Cruise. Have you seen that picture of Tom Cruise accepting this award? I hardly recognize him. Oh my goodness, he finally got old. Are there movie stars anymore is a big thing people talk about. But when I was growing up, these network anchor people were huge stars. And people listened to everything they said. And I would say, in my opinion, I'll throw this out, the last television news superstar, in my opinion, was Tucker Carlson. When they fired Tucker Carlson, that was it. I don't think there's any, I'm not saying there's not people you may like and who are not famous, Hannity, all these people, but I'm talking about like a superstar. There may not be movie stars anymore, but there's still celebrities that are famous, but they're not movie stars. There's no more movie stars. Even the living movie stars are no longer movie stars like Harrison Ford. And I think the same is true. Yeah, Harrison Ford's no longer a movie star. The cable news and the news used to have stars, but the last one was Tucker. And they took him off. And I don't, well, just my thought. 1-888-465-2631 is our number. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Back after this. All right, we are back, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you today?
Great. How'd your workshop go this week?
It went great. We had a great group of people. It was well attended, and it went very well. Thank you for asking.
Awesome, awesome. So what do you have for us this morning?
Well, one of the issues that comes up with, that there's other areas of law that, people may hire an attorney and they do it because there's a lot of urgency. If somebody's being charged with a crime, you're not going to wait around because there's going to be hearings and you need to have a lawyer. Same thing with any kind of litigation and many other areas of law. There's a built-in sense of urgency. But when it comes to estate planning, a lot of people think, I could put that off. We all think, none of these things are going to happen to me. We're invincible. We're going to live forever. I understand, people think that way, and, doing what I do for as long as I've been doing it, unfortunately, I've seen that that's not the case. In fact, my schedule today was altered. I had a 10 a.m. meeting scheduled, a consult with a client that had called in that needed to get their estate planning done, and I noticed on the calendar that the meeting was canceled. Why was it canceled? I looked at the explanation. The client passed away.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Now,
It happens.
I was just going to say is, that's unusual. I've had that happen a few times where clients who may have hired us to get started on things, and we've moved on it, even one where we did it the very next day. And I think I've told the story once or twice on your show where I got off the highway and I got a call from the daughter that the mother had passed away. She really, obviously waited till the last moment there. So anyway, the point is, we never know what the future is going to be. We don't know. We don't, like as I said a week or so ago on your show, that we don't have the expiration dates on our foreheads the way a milk carton does. So we don't know whether it's expiration, meaning death or incapacity. That's our deadline, and that's the urgency in estate planning, and that's why we need to get it done and make sure that it's up to date so that it's going to be what you need at the time that you need it, and that's what we do at the Siegel.
Yeah, and don't forget, it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help as well. Give them a call, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk next week.
All right, thanks so much.
All right, we'll be right back. All righty, we are back. Calls on hold, stand by. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. Open phones on Friday. Any and everything on your mind's fair game on Friday's show. The other 4 days of the week, we try to get you to talk about what we bring up. But Friday, the show prep is up to you guys. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Maria from Montana.
No, it's one call per day, one call per day, one call per day, especially after that. Oh, I wanted to clarify what I was saying before the break about the television news stars. I want to define what I mean by that, okay? Because I say there are no television news stars anymore. Tucker was the last. And what I mean by that is not someone you like. Oh, I like the Five. I like Judge Janine. I like Judge Janine too. But she's not a star. What I mean is, okay, 8 o'clock, Tucker's going to be on. I got to watch Tucker. Oh, Hannity. Is there somebody that you say they're coming on, I got to watch? I don't think you do anymore, do you? Do you say to yourself, oh, so-and-so's coming on, the cable news, I got to tune in, without even knowing what they're going to do or talk about or cover? I think those days are over. Bill O'Reilly was on with Tucker a while back, and Bill O'Reilly said the cable news will always be there, but it's becoming background noise, and I think that's true. Before we move on on the politics issue, there's a local story I wanted to talk about. This is a possible hate crime. No one's describing this as a hate crime but me. It's in the national news because it involves an unusual death. Florida drawbridge operator who let elderly woman plunge to death has been jailed for a probation violation. Now, I have always hated the drawbridges. On occasion, people get killed on them. Usually it's a homeless person, they're sleeping. The bridge tender raises the bridge and the person falls to their death. I don't know how any of that is possible to happen. I hate drawbridges. I never feel safe going over them, you know, especially the new one on 17th Street Causeway in Fort Lauderdale. The old bridge was bad enough, but it's so high now, I don't like them. And these bridge tenders, a drawbridge is a dangerous thing. And I've encountered over the years a handful of people that worked at bridge tenders that raise and lower the bridges. They're all like, the ones I've met, now, any of you out there, but the ones I've come in contact, which mostly through, people calling me. But my experience with bridge tenders has typically been that they're the same type of people that are carnies. You know what I mean? But I want you to listen to this, and I think this is quite possibly a racial hate crime. A Florida this is in the Daily Mail, so it's a national story, even though it's local. This is in Palm Beach. A Florida drawbridge operator who killed a grandmother when she prematurely raised the spans of the bridge has been sent to jail after violating her probation. The bridge tender, I'm leaving the names out, opened the Royal Park Bridge over the Intracoastal Waterway February 6th, 2022, as 79-year-old victim Carol Wright was still walking across the bridge with her bicycle. Now, I don't know, how could she not see her? It caused Wright, a retired newspaper editor who was riding back from a bookstore, to plunge 50 feet to her death, landing on a concrete slab. Oh my goodness. The bridge tender pleaded guilty to manslaughter and was sentenced to 8 years of probation and 200 hours of community service. What? Where's the jail? Where's the jail? There was someone many years ago that Steve and I worked with. They were a radio personality. They were on the air. They had a nephew who a friend of theirs was accidentally shot at their home. I can't remember all the details, but they had a gun at home. They were underage, and the gun went off, and their little friend got killed, and they had to do time. And I remember somebody's dead, someone's got to do time. How did this person not go to jail? She pleaded guilty to manslaughter, was sentenced to 8 years of probation, 200 hours of community service. However, she found herself back in the courtroom on Tuesday after she violated probation. Court records obtained by local news show she violated her probation when she failed the drug test. Think about this. She killed a woman. She didn't do any time. She has a slap on the wrist, and she did not complete. She failed the drug test, did not complete mandatory community service, and didn't pay court fines. She's responsible for someone's death, found guilty of manslaughter, and this is who was running the bridge. She admitted to the court she violated the terms of probation. Her attorney argued that she was making progress and is a different person now, as they pleaded for the probation to be reinstated. Prosecutors requested she be sentenced to 15 years in prison. The judge ultimately sentenced her to 10 years, so she got 10 years. She was operating a bridge that connects West Palm and Palm Beach when she opened the bridge to let a boat pass. Am I the only person that ever has like a fear of this when you're going over these bridges? After lowering its entrance barriers, She was supposed to go outside the bridge tender station and make sure no cars, pedestrians, or bicycles were on it. The operator originally told police she checked the bridge, but surveillance and text messages she sent to her boss immediately after the fall of the woman show she had not. As well as texting her friend, she also spoke to her supervisor, who happens to be her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law told her to tell officers she checked the bridge 3 times before lifting it. They put all this in writing? Oh, my goodness. Which bridge tenders are required to do. By the way, this bridge, I believe it's the one right down where Rush Limbaugh's studio was. I think it's that one. If it's not, it's one down from it. So then she lied. Well, the reason I say this, the bridge tender is African American. The woman who died was killed is a white woman. You know, if the races were reversed, there'd be a whole racial dialogue about this. But this is what happens when you have, they call it DEI. Didn't earn it. It's affirmative action. When you have affirmative action, when you have government workers where there's no accountability, this is what you get. Incompetent people that got all kinds of problems that are in charge with people's lives. And I got to tell you, have any of you known any bridge? Now again, the only bridge tenders I've come in contact are people that have called me over the years on the radio saying they were bridge tenders. And when I was on at night, some of them were there. Some of them, they work at night. They monitor the bridge. The bridge doesn't go up much. Some of them, they go up all the time on a schedule. Sometimes, they go up every half an hour. Sometimes they only go up by appointment. There's all kinds of different things. Okay? But I've heard many stories over the years, sadly, of people being killed with these bridge tenders. And I think they just need to raise the bar on the quality of people they hire. You don't want to hire people like this. You don't want DEI hires. You know, I mean, it is a very, very dangerous job. But you know, this is how government operates, right? We're talking about the government shutdown and the government workers. Remember, the guy called about an hour ago, and he says government workers, they're not qualified to do much, and that's the case. Okay? Most government workers are not qualified to do much at all. Now, I want to tell you guys about Friendly Tire in Margate. Friendly Tire in Margate, here we are, Christmas shopping season. Great Christmas gift are new tires for your kids. Don't let your kids drive around on bald tires. Don't drive on bald tires yourself. And don't let anyone in your family, your mom, your dad, your wife, drive around on tires that are unsafe. I know how it is. You think tires are expensive. You put off buying tires as long as you can. I've been there and I've done that. Okay? Until I found Friendly Tire in Margate. At Friendly Tire in Margate, you can get new tires out the door and on the road as low as $70 a tire. Friendly Mike doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or even dispose of your old tire. He has all the name brands you know and love: Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli. Great deals on run flats. If you have an EV like a Tesla, he's got the special equipment needed for those tires. And your Teslas and your run flats, you'll get them at incredibly low prices. I'm going to give you his number. When you call, he'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. He also does tire repairs, which other shops don't. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah,
All right, Brian.
I just wanted to say I heard your podcast, heard a podcast yesterday about the Dana Perino thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put my 2 cents in. I agree 100%. Because I found out one thing. She doesn't read the packages. There was a segment about monkeys, and it was incredible. I was actually looking up there to see, watch what she was saying, but she was looking at the package and then at one point she says, well, I didn't read the whole package.
Well, Dana Perino, let me tell you, okay, I have never liked her. She is a very nasty person. I've seen her do a couple of things. on the air that show what kind of lowlife she is. One was this was a few years ago with Jessica Tarloff. They're on the air on the 5, and Dana Perino announces that Jessica's pregnant. And Jessica says, I told you that off camera. I haven't even told my family yet. That was supposed to be private. That was really nasty. I mean, I don't like Jessica Tarloff, but that was nasty. She does a show with Bill Hemmer where she humiliates him. They got this thing, Dana does sports, and she does sports and manly things and makes him talk about fashion. You know what I mean? She humiliates the people she works with. She's a nasty person.
Of course. And the other thing is, you've been blocked. You know who blocked me? Perino. Yeah.
Really?
But so we got.
You've been blocked by Dana Perino on X, on Twitter.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know.
She doesn't. Maybe she doesn't like people named Brian.
I guess not.
Yeah. Well, I don't like her either. I'm out of time. I got to run for the top. But I appreciate the call. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WYRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and her in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home, Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your latest forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Maroon from the All-Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Friday, December 20th, 2024. And right now it's 64 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 77 degrees with partly cloudy conditions to start the day and clear conditions throughout the rest of the day. So make sure you stay warm, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful start to your weekend.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
They're foggy conditions on the area, so be careful. This traffic report sponsored by Discover. Especially on the turnpike, be extra careful. Looks like there's additional fog there. And there's also crash going on I-95 northbound at the on-ramp from Hyperluxa Road. That on-ramp has been reopened. And at Glades Road at 441, there's a crash and a wreck at First Avenue and Dixie Highway. Guess what? Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Steve, you there? Oh, you sound a little low. Can you talk?
Traffic, a service.
I can hear you now.
Boca with PBKC is open every day with exciting cash games, high hands, bad beat jackpots, big money tournaments, and table game action like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker. Win big this December with Christmas cash and holiday high hand promotions, and Paddock Show tickets make great holiday gifts. For event schedule and more information, go to our website at pbkennelclub.com.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed. And you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike from Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 3 has begun. Callers on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our last Friday before Christmas. Steve Kane joining us. Well, it's open phones. That's what happens on open phones. It's a Neil Cavuto.
Neil Cavuto. You don't like Neil Cavuto?
No.
I don't know. I just thought we had kind of similar tastes, but
No, I've never liked him, and what he did to President Trump disgusted me about 4 years ago, and I never forgave him.
well, that's ridiculous. I mean, you develop these personal animosities. I mean, I found it very entertaining, very warm. I liked it.
Oh my goodness, we're talking about the same guy. You're talking about the fat guy that was on it for?
Yeah,
All right,
I'm not the same guy.
all right.
But I don't.
I won't miss him.
But the story doesn't make any sense to me.
Sure, makes perfect sense.
What?
It makes perfect sense. What was his announcement at the end?
He said that they had made him a generous offer to continue. So he specifically went out of his way to point out that he was not fired.
Oh, please.
The kind of thing you do if you were fired.
What was reported, he wasn't fired. You're fired. Get out of here, fatso. That's not what happened. But what was reported, they made him an offer to sit. Now, again, this may not be accurate. This is just what was reported, okay? So this may not be, it's the media, okay? So this may not be accurate. But it was reported yesterday that they made him an offer at a reduced salary. That was what was reported.
I think the term he used, I can stand to be corrected on this, but I think the term he used was they made him a generous offer to
Mm-hmm. But may not have been as generous as what he's been getting.
Then he, well, they didn't go that far. And then basically he said he was staying in the market.
Yeah, I did hear that. I didn't know what that meant. Maybe he's got a deal somewhere else.
Already, he's got something picked.
Okay, that's fine. I just, let me tell you guys, I mentioned this in the first hour, I'll mention it again. What he did to President Trump 4 years ago was, to me, sick. So this is a day or two after, it's the week of January 6th, but it's after January 6th, okay? President Trump is still in his first term. He comes out, he's outside at the White House about to speak. It's live. It's during Cavuto's show. Cavuto cuts away and says the President of the United States is about to speak. We're going to cut away because he could incite violence. Pissed me off, and I've never forgotten it. You insult Trump. You disrespect Trump. You insult me, and disrespect me.
Who's the other one that you
I don't know. There's a lot I don't like.
really speaking on that I like?
Who? I don't know. Give me a hint.
It's one of the, I think he's in the state government now.
Oh, Ron DeSantis?
DeSantis.
Well, he lied to Trump.
Gee whiz.
Well, he lied to us. He's told us he was, vote for me, I'm MAGA. It was a lie.
All right.
I'm sorry. Nah, no, you won't. They'll put somebody else on. You'll forget about Cavuto. You know what I was talking about, Steve? Now, you may be different because you're a news junkie, okay? You're a television, and I am too, just in different formats than you. You like the cable news. But what I was talking about, though, is I don't know if there's television news stars anymore like we used to. And the way I define that is, okay, Tucker's coming on, I got to watch, without any idea what he's going to do or cover or talk about. And I just don't think there's anybody left like that on TV.
Like that, basically most of the Fox.
No, okay, well, we're going to disagree. On that one, every line on the board is lit. So, who would you like to see replace Cavuto? Somebody at Fox. Or it could be, they're not going to bring Tucker back.
Why not?
They fired him, and he started his new thing. He's embarrassing them. He's got his new online thing. He's doing so well. They're not going to bring him back. No way. And I don't think he would accept it, even if they offered it. He's doing so well now. No. I like Tucker a lot. Yeah, I still do. All right, you want to take some of these calls? All right, we're taking these calls in the order in which they were received to the best of our ability. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, well, that's it for them. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yep. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris, what's up? Well, I bet people was, the old government worker thing, and I'm glad you brought it up because it really is ridiculous. I wish they really did actually have a government shutdown with all these baggage, excess workers. But I work for 3 different agencies. My wife, my deceased wife, worked for a couple. And she was in the Army, I was in the Marine Corps, so we had standards and guidelines. But it was always a joke and punchline and a serious stereotype. And my 3 favorite was always, well, good enough for government work. The other one was, there never seemed to be time to do it right, but always time to do it over.
See, this is what I think. The reason I brought up the bridge tender, the murdering manslaughter bridge tender, is all this whining about the government workers. I think the bridge tender is the average government worker that got the woman killed. I think they're all dragging their feet. They're all milking the clock, and they're incompetent. Most every single one of them. That's why they work for the government.
Right, and the worst part is what you said earlier, didn't earn it. I know you said her mother-in-law was her supervisor.
Yeah.
So I probably pushed her into the position. Here you go, I got something for you. Probably worthless and not keeping any other jobs, but come work with us.
Yeah.
Asked a whole bunch of other...
And she probably couldn't get another job.
Exactly. I got fired from a few of those other ones. But yeah, I couldn't get one, couldn't keep one.
That's the average person that's running the government today and working for the government. So who cares if they get shut down?
And they do it often. I mean, look at the top. They give these people, like Buttigieg and whoever, it's a long list over the last few presidencies with Democrats, but they just give people jobs for favors instead of their qualifications and their success.
Exactly.
We'll do it.
Exactly. All right. All right. All right. I appreciate the call. All right. Let's see here. Again, in the order in which they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Detroit Dave, your favorite buddy.
I have no idea who you are.
Detroit Dave.
Okay.
Right, Dave. Okay.
Oh, my buddy. Have we talked before?
Oh, maybe a couple times.
I have no recollection of it. What's that beeping going on? Ankle monitor?
No, chuck alarm.
Oh, okay.
Well, just put my seatbelt on.
All right.
Out on the road.
Yeah, you called us. What's on your mind?
I'm sure Neil Caputo's really worried about nobody like you not liking them.
Neil Caputo? I don't know. We were talking about Neil Cavuto. Who's Neil Caputo?
Neil Caputo.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And I have a question for you. The rumor is that
Oh, my goodness.
Euro trash Melania is not going to be in the White House with Diaper Don. Is that true?
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who those people are. Diaper Don? I don't know who that is. Who's Diaper Don?
Is this an attempt at humor?
This is another guy that's got daddy issues, Steve. Strong men with beautiful women piss him off.
Let me ask you
Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity, sir, what do you do for a living? I'm kind of curious.
He actually, yeah.
Somebody like you. What do you do?
I
How do you make your living?
Truck driver.
Yeah, he's a truck driver. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember you now. That's a good honorable profession, but I mean, what's with the who is this Diaper Don guy you asked us about? I don't know who that is.
Diaper Don Trump,
No, I have no idea. I have no idea who that is.
Diaper Don.
Who? I have no idea who that is. It doesn't surprise me that you know. It doesn't surprise me.
If you're waiting for the laugh, I think taking it a long way.
And what was and Fluffer? You mentioned Fluffer. Is that how you paid your way to truck driving school, being a Fluffer?
Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Oh my goodness! If you don't know what that is, Google it. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. You know, today's Friday. Yeah, wow. And tomorrow is Saturday. And, you know, you don't want to start the weekend in pain. Not only that, Christmas and New Year's, aches and pains. You don't want to spend your Christmas. You don't want to spend your New Year's. You don't want to spend your weekend in pain. Go see Dr. Appleton. Take advantage of this incredible laser away pain treatment. You know, this was amazing. You know, when I go see Dr. Appleton, I'm in so much pain. I just want the pain gone. And last time I went, after my final skateboard accident, there'll be no more skateboard accidents because the skateboard's been retired. But my whole shoulder and arm was hurting all the way down to my fingers. And I said, Doc, I am in so much pain. I don't know what's going on. He did an examination, and he says, this is where the pain's coming. He was able to determine the spot where the pain was coming from, where I injured myself. And that's the spot he treated with the laser away pain treatment. And I even said to him, I said, Doc, my hand hurts too. He said, it's coming from here. And he treated me with the laser away pain treatment. The pain's gone. It hasn't returned. And he, by the way, he's done that every time, determine where the pain's coming from without x-rays or any scans. He is a top guy. He knows his business. Pain is not a part of growing old. I used to think it was before I met Dr. Appleton. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain too. Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself, and appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Son of Tom Laporta and proud second-generation owner of Laporta Roofing. As a military veteran who served in the Army after 9/11, I've brought the same dedication and discipline to our family business. At Laporta Roofing, we've been serving our community for nearly 4 decades, and we're committed to continuing that legacy of excellence. Our team specializes in all types of roofing systems, from shingles to tile, slate, metal, and flat roofs. We're go-to experts for single-family homes, HOA communities, and condo associations. What sets us apart is our unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction. I've personally implemented systems to ensure you receive the best in customer service and workmanship. Don't miss out on our limited time offer for a free roof inspection. Call us now at 954-604-4602 or visit us at LaportaRoofing.com. Trust the experts who have been protecting homes like yours for generations. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Now is the best time in the market challenge to consider copper, gold, silver, battery bills, clean tech, listen to Money Talk Radio South Florida with me, Ellis Martin, 9:30 a.m. weekdays here on your true oldies station. Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pamela. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, concentration, and all the disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
All right, guys.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True.
All right, we're back. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian. If you're on hold, hang in there. Today is Open Phones, Open Mega Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind's fair game on Friday's show. Oh, boy. I remember we, on occasion have higher quality hate caller than that. Jay from But this week we've heard from all the Democrats. Jay from Jersey called today. The Harlem guy. All the well, I don't know if I. They're at the acceptance phase that they lost. Yeah, I don't know if they're fully recovered, but each of them are at different stages of the recovery process. That's for sure.
Treat him gently.
Oh yeah.
Don't want to spoil the recovery.
Oh yeah. You don't want to kick a guy when he's down, unless he calls us. You're on the 4 years and plus. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
There we go. See?
Yeah. Listen, get over yourself. Now, first of all, that bridge operator was not at fault. Okay? If that stupid ineptitude old white lady fell off the bridge, you want to blame her. If the roles were reversed, you certainly would have blamed the person that fell off the bridge.
Well, what do you do with you know a lot about drawbridges. Tell me about the drawbridges of Harlem.
There's too many questions.
Yeah. What do you know about drawbridges?
A plane and take a trip.
This is how twisted you are. We got a black bridge tender that killed a white woman, and you're defending it, even though she's doing 10 years.
Oh, she killed her, did she?
What's manslaughter? Manslaughter, yes.
Ineptitude is what killed that old lady.
Me?
No, her ineptitude.
The bridge tender? Yes, I agree.
Ineptitude.
This is really bad. This is bad. You are so. As long as he knows that the victim is white and the killer is black, he always bets on black. This guy, Renee.
How did I know that was your problem? How did I know? You're like a clock.
Right twice a day? I'm right twice a day? Well, this is one of those times.
Most of the time.
But right twice a day.
Okay.
You know what?
By the way, it's a broken clock that's only right twice a day. A working clock is right all day. So I guess you're saying I'm right all day long. You didn't say broken clock, you said a clock, so I'm always right. You didn't say a broken clock, you said I'm like a clock. A clock's always right unless it's broken. I agree.
Predictable.
Well, I'm right.
No, you're always racist.
You said I'm like a clock. I'm correct.
You're very predictably racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's it feel that your Mayor Adams, is now MAGA? He's going to deport the illegals. He's behind Trump.
Yeah, I know. And he's a cop, too.
Yeah?
I have no words there.
All of that. Now you don't like your black mayor?
Oh, he's a black mayor. He's the mayor and he's a cop.
What's that mean? You don't like cops?
Just what I said. No, I don't like cops.
Why don't you like cops? What have you done?
Well, let's check the history books. Cops notoriously were slave chasers, weren't they?
No. Nope.
That was their function. That was their job.
Nope.
Changed at all.
Nope.
Nope. How many words do you know?
3, 4. Very, 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 very limited vocabulary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a plane?
Yep.
You have?
Yep.
Where have you been?
Around. Now you're talking about slave catchers. Were you ever a slave? I mean, what are you talking about slavery for?
History of this country.
Well, how about living in the now?
This country hasn't changed very much.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least we found a black Democrat you don't support, Mayor Adams.
More prisoners than anybody in the world.
That's not true. That is not true. No. If you are if you're in China, nope.
Than anyone in the world.
This is what really is a strange thing about you. Okay, you're talking about slavery, which the Republicans ended over 150 years ago, right? But oh no, slow down. No. You are, see, he knows where I'm going. Here you are talking about slavery that ended over 150 years ago. However, the Democrats have a slave trade going on right now through our southern border, and you're fine with that. Sex slave and labor slavery, a whole passage is taking place at the southern border, and that doesn't faze you. For someone obsessed with slavery, you should be very bothered by that.
You're not paying attention. They are making inmates work. Okay? That is initiated, that is regurgitating slavery.
So you're ignoring the slave passage from our southern border. Well, nothing. You're diverting. You're trying to pivot. All right, take care, Renee. Oh, my goodness. You think that's the stage of recovery, Steve? He's devolving. He's devolving. He was better the day after the election. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Frank from Boca.
Oh.
Ryan, I was going to talk about tariffs, but I wanted to say to that last caller, white people never captured one single slave. It was the West Africans that captured their enemies and sold them to white people.
That is correct.
Now, to do better than those last two callers, Brian, I'm going to see a psychiatrist. They're not very high bars to exceed.
That's true.
I oppose tariff taxes for several reasons. First, no one has a right to force me to pay more the market price of a good or service, and I consider taxation to be theft. Now, if I pay an item at Walmart for $100 and some politician slaps a 25% tariff tax on the country of origin, I don't think that's no different than someone putting a gun to my head and saying, "Give me $25 or I'll shoot you."
Are you one of those sovereign citizens or something? I knew it. You know, are you? Because you sound like that. Those are those guys that drive around without driver's licenses, and then when they get stopped, they say they're a sovereign citizen. It happens all the time.
I always hear my.
You know, these import taxes. Okay, let me give you an example of something. You know, I have Converses. You ever have any of your kids have Converses, Steve?
What are they, sneakers?
The sneakers. You've got black kids, all black kids like that. If you get a pair of Converse, by the way, thanks for the call. I'm getting an echo caller. If you they're all made like overseas in Vietnam or China or something. If you get a new pair of Converses and you look at the soles underneath, they're sneakers, basketball shoes, but there's a little fuzz down there, a little light fuzz material under the sole of the shoe, right? And the reason they do that is for the import taxes. Converse shoes are considered not shoes or sneakers, but slippers, because they have a little bit of cloth there on the outside of the sole, little fuzz. You ever see the fuzz on them? Well, how do you think that happened? Whoever owns Converse bought off some Congress people and got this slipper thing in there. The import taxes are a joke. Our government, we have these out of whack import-export taxes, right? They have like 80% taxes on us. We have like 5% on them. Why? Because, Donald Trump made his money on television, construction, golf memberships, hotels. These Washington politicians, they don't have goods and services to sell. They make their living selling America out. And they have all these weird deals with import-export taxes, like the one I just shared with you. So anyone who's arguing against import taxes, or they like to use the code word tariff because Democrats don't like to say any tax is bad, so they call them tariffs, they don't understand what's going on. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take a break and be back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
No, it's not wrong. I'm right. There's a smaller import tax with the slippers with the cloth under there than if it doesn't have the material. You don't know what you're talking about.
South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Maroon from the All Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Friday, December 20th, 2024. About 64 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures will reach as high as 76 47 degrees with partly cloudy conditions to start the day and clear conditions throughout the rest of the day. So make sure you stay warm, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful start to your weekend.
All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family.
There was no party switch. No, that's a lie. Just misinformation.
There's fog going on through the area, so be careful. This traffic works once by Staples stores, especially along the turnpike. There seems to be some heavier fog. And there's also construction on the turnpike at the Elon highway, so be careful.
There was no party flip.
And on I-95, there's a crash heading northbound of the on-ramp from Hyperluxo Road. The on-ramp was blocked, and it looks like they're at least clearing that. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers in-store only. Offer ends 12/28. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet and one draft beer for just $25. And get this deal for free by calling 561-683-2222 extension 199. Watch all the games on over 140 HD TVs and big screens every football Sunday. The Paddock is also your best bet for Super OTB action, and show tickets make great gifts. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Would like to say this holiday season, open up your hearts to the less fortunate families in our community. A food donation will warm a belly, clothing will warm a body, and toys will warm the heart. Take time out of your schedule to visit a local church or donation center. Your generosity can bring a happy holidays. This message is courtesy of Mickey's Tiki Bar, serving the area with pride and integrity. That's Mickey's Tiki Bar. Wishing all a happy holiday season.
Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88. And free shipping on orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard MyPillow for just $14.88. The lowest price ever. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Say goodbye to the holiday hustle and hello to paradise. Margaritaville at Seas, making it easier than ever to plan your next big cruise adventure. Book your spring break, summer escape, or winter retreat today and enjoy 50% off cruise fares. Plus, you can sail for free. Turquoise waters, sandy beaches, and tropical cocktails while exploring Nassau, Great Bahama Island, or Key West, or conveniently family.
Questions about retirement? Hi, it's Kathy Green, co-host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 7:30 a.m. to the Jupiter Joe Money Show. We answer all kinds of questions about retirement right here on your True Oldies channel.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Celebrating.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here the Friday before Christmas. Oh my goodness, Steve. Can you believe it already? Oh, is that what you do on Christmas? Watch football? What do you guys do? Oh, yeah. Are you the only Jewish family on your street that does Christmas, or do all the Jews do Christmas? Oh, well, that's probably best. All right, let's You know, whatever. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Never Trumper Steve here in beautiful Palm City. How's Brian and Steve doing today?
Steven, how are you doing?
Trump's our president. We're doing great.
Yeah, but you said you have to treat gently people that don't agree with your point of view. Since when have you treated me gently? I don't recall that. Right.
I'm always gentle with you.
Well, when you press the 7-second delay button claiming profanity, which has never happened, and last week, technical problems with my phone, which also wasn't true. I mean, you know, anyway, I don't want to get into that. While you were running your show, news came out, which you may not be aware of yet, that Speaker Johnson now has a Plan C to vote on later on this morning.
Great.
Yes, and the fact that there was ever a B or a C indicates, at least in the House of Representatives, that they can't govern. They have the majority with Republicans, and yesterday 38 Republicans voted against their own deal, right?
Who is the they you're talking about?
They being the Republicans are the majority in the House, and they need the help of the Democrats to get any bills through. And 38 of the Republicans wouldn't vote for their own deal. Why? Because you can't raise the debt without lowering spending. The problem is that President Musk.
Okay, slow down a second, Steve. Okay, this talking. I'll talk about your talking point at the end. This talking point that you guys are doing, President Musk and Vice President Donald Trump. You know what they're trying to do is what people try to do with us, Steve, over the years. They try to divide Trump and Musk. That's not going to work. But the other thing is this. And I'm glad you called, Steve. Okay, I really am, and I don't know too much about you, but I think we may be learning something. Elon Musk is the richest man on the planet Earth. He's the richest man who has ever lived. So you mean to tell me that you know more about finance and Hakeem Jeffries know more about finances than the richest man in the world and the richest man that's ever lived? That's interesting. Tell me about your expertise.
Yeah, I mean to tell you that Musk may be good making money, but he's not good at running a government. Because in government, you have to compromise. And actually, Musk and Trump are working at opposite ends.
In fact, excuse me, hold on a second. No. We're talking about a budget. When you are the richest man in the world and you have these mega businesses, you have to understand budgets, right? You have to understand budgets. So you mean to tell, why are you not as rich as Musk? If you understand budgets and money better than the richest man in the world, why are you not the richest man in the world and he is?
Or you and Steve. A lot of us are not as rich as him.
Because he's smart. Because he knows about money in ways that you and I can't comprehend.
In government, you have to compromise.
Excuse me. That's a talking point. His two primary businesses that he's most famous for are government businesses, SpaceX and Tesla. Everything, his two, I don't know what his other companies are, but his two gems, the two highlights, are all based on government. He works with the government help him. Everything is based around the government. So he understands budgets, he understands business, he understands government. If a government shutdown is so bad, why would Elon be supporting doing something that would shut down his companies, Tesla and SpaceX?
I'll tell you what, I actually will pay him a compliment. When he took over X and he fired 70% of the people, the media, of course, said, oh, how could he do that? That's not going to work. And it turned out it kind of worked. In other words, he cut spending appropriately, and it appears to be...
He knows how to budget. He knows how to budget and cut fat.
Yeah, here's the problem. So he comes into our government now...
Okay, now slow down. We're short on time, and I want to get this out because we've got an expert here. Well, I am... Steve, hold on, Steve. You've got a lot. I want to ask you this. I want to ask you this. If the government shuts down, tell me how Steve and I this weekend, if the government shuts down, will notice or be affected by it? What will change in our life if the government shuts down?
Are you taking a flight this weekend? When TSA, you want to wait 3 hours online to get through TSA?
It's Christmas week. Everyone's going to wait. It's Christmas week, travel weekend here. So you're telling me the airports will still be open and flights will still be continuing. I asked you how we will be impacted. You're telling me that the airports will remain open.
More than you suggest. But
Well, then tell me something that will affect our lives that we will, if the government shuts down, how will we notice? What, if the government shuts down, no, you're not answering the question. If the government shuts down, how will we be impacted? How will we notice? You said the airports will stay open. A wait at the airport the Friday before Christmas, that's just the Christmas.
say that again.
The airports will be busy the Friday before every Christmas, okay? So I didn't ask you what was going to remain open. You said the airports will still be running. The planes will still be flying. You're answering a question I'm asking you what will not be working.
I told you. The TSA may not be there.
No, they'll be there. That's a necessary service. It will be there. Essential services will not be discontinued.
I've got social security checks going out.
Yes, they will.
Because you say so?
No, because it's true.
Just what the media said.
It's true.
Go out.
Yes, they will.
But let's not debate that for a moment. Here's my main point. He wants to lower spending, and Trump has never had a problem with spending. He loves to spend. That's why he wants the debt.
Meaningful gobbledygook talking points.
Why does he need the debt limit suspended now?
Do you understand? Excuse me. You understand that every. Excuse me. You understand. Oh my gosh. Steve, you understand, caller, that the government shuts down every Friday at 5 o'clock, right? And because of Christmas, they're going to be shut down. Then a week later for New Year's. And then next month, the inauguration will shut the government down because so many people will be traveling to Washington. The reality is essential services will continue. The only things that won't continue are non-essential services. And you can't name us one thing that's going to be shut down. If you want to say...
Shut it down for a month.
Yes. I want 6 months. 6 months.
I think...
You think?
More than you believe, and I think this is the problem with the Republicans now. What is going to get passed right now? What's going to get...
You don't want anything passed. Remember what Rush used to say? When Congress is in session, you're losing liberty. When they're not in session, you're not losing freedoms. We don't want every time they pass something, they take a right away. You understand that, right?
Well, nothing will be passed now.
Good.
38 Republicans who are
good.
That don't want to pass anything.
That's what Trump wants. Trump wants a government shutdown.
Yes, and he wants to spend and lower taxes for the millionaires and billionaires. Do you?
Well, no. He's going to lower the taxes for millionaires and billionaires. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. No tax on Social Security. Are you telling me millionaires are working for tips? No tax on tips. Those aren't billionaires. You need to get some updated. You need to get some updated talking points. Listen, we got to run. Those talking points are very dated. Listen, I want to talk about Sloman's and the free door. The doorbell camera offer from Sloman's is a great Christmas gift. Get it for yourself and your family at home, or for mom or dad, or for your adult children. You can get a doorbell camera from Sloman's for free that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Makes a great Christmas gift. Sloman's will also give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You'll get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, a backup battery, and a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. We'll be right back. All right, and it is time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the final gold and precious metals report of the week. William Youngerman, how the metals looking? William, do we have you? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. How the metals looking?
Yesterday after a nice big drop earlier this week. So we've got gold trading yesterday in the range of $2,580 to $2,629 and closing out today at $2,594.70. That was at $11.10. Silver closed out today down 34 cents at $28.99. Platinum was up $4 at $9.21. And palladium was up $12 at $900. The rally continues this morning as we've seen gold trading in the range of $2,588 on the low to $2,610 so far this morning. And right now, gold at $26.0840, up $13.70. Silver, $28.92. That's down 7 cents. Platinum, $930, up $9. And palladium, up $6 at $906 an ounce. So,
wow, things are looking good. Like a good time to do some gold and silver Christmas shopping. What are the best buys in silver right now in the 1 ounce size? If somebody wants to come in and buy 1 ounce coins or rounds, what would you recommend today?
Yeah, 1 ounce rounds, the coins, all of them are on sale. Price of silver is way down now, so it's a great time to buy them, and the premiums are low. So, excellent time to take advantage of the many different styles silver we have in stock.
Now, a lot, people, you can buy 1 ounce of silver, but you also can buy the coins and the rounds in the tubes. Like, how many are in a tube? Like 20?
Yeah, most of them come in tubes of 20.
Yeah, I mean, and right now with these prices, they're real great. And with the gold, what's in the 1 ounce size? What's a good buy right now? The Australian 1 ounce king.
A great buy right now. Yes.
Yeah, the
coins encapsulated pure gold. One of our top products, and we strongly recommend it.
Yeah, and at these prices, it's time to do some shopping. Okay, listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can give them a call toll-free. And remember, no matter where you're located, you can do all your transactions over the phone and through the mail with William Youngerman. Toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. And find both his phone number and website, and address on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. That's WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday. Okay, we are back. Steve, I with the last caller, the Never Trumper Steve, when all those things he said are not true. Social Security checks will go out.
We lost when we won. They submitted this inflated budget. They thought they were going to sneak it through in the middle of the night like they always do. And the Trump forces shut it down.
See, this is how I see it. Trump wants the government shut down. And I was at 6 when I opened the show, Steve. This is what I said. I'm watching all these Democrats and stuff on television, and they look like bank robbers, right? They're on TV. Look at all the money we're stealing from the government, from the Treasury. We got the loot. They don't even understand. They're so desperate to have a victory over Trump, and they don't understand that they got creamed. Trump has destroyed them. And they're doing this thing, you heard him do it. A few callers have done it today. This talking point, President Musk, Vice President Trump. You're not going to divide these two. President Trump and Elon Musk are not just best friends. They have a bond that we don't understand. Trump has a lot of respect for success. The richest man in the world is with him. They're not going to divide these two guys. They're a team. They've got each other's back. They got each other's six. I mean, I don't, these Trump derangement syndrome sufferers think about this. Elon Musk sends rockets into space and they come home, not like that other company, with astronauts on them. He's going to Mars. He's got a moon mission coming up. He is the richest man in the world. Donald Trump has defeated 10 years of government harassment. You know, I don't have to go through the list. And these people think they're smarter than these two guys. I mean, think about that. That's nuts. How could someone think that we've got the richest man in the world because he runs very profitable companies, the richest man in the world, and he's offering his services for free to the U.S. government to save us money. And they're trying to tell us that's a bad thing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. What they're saying is so stupid. I don't even understand how they could make these attempts at arguments. Now, before we go back to the phones, though, he mentioned Social Security. You know, when people are retired, you get that Social Security. You're always looking for other revenue streams to supplement your income. You know, one thing I've learned from very successful people in life that have all told me a very similar thing. You want to have at least 3 sources of revenue. You want to have at least 3. You want to have more than that if you can, but at least 3, because if one slows down, you got something else coming that's doing well, right? Joe Thomas, Jupiter Joe Thomas, you want to give him a call and talk to him about annuities. You know, with annuities, you're not risking your nest egg. You don't have to worry about the ups and downs of the stock market. Your money is safe. And on top of that, you've got a revenue stream coming to you when you are retired. Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations to listeners of our radio station. I'm going to give you his number. Give him a call. You can take advantage of this free phone consultation no matter where you're located in the United States. 561-743-0999. Talk to him about how you can protect your money from stock market losses and generate income when you are retired. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, JupiterJoe.com. All right, there's one opening on the board. This is the last stretch of the week. So you want to go back to the phone, Steve? All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield. Hey, Brian.
Yep. Hey, what's up?
I got to tell you something, Brian. I've been watching the Democratic Party fairly closely since the election November 5th. And as long as the Democratic Party does not realize it wasn't just an election, it was an inflection point. And since then, they have done absolutely nothing to put forward maybe down the road a potential exciting candidate for higher office, maybe exciting government policies. They're still talking the same junk that got them creamed in that last election.
I know, they don't get it. They don't get it. They'll be talking about men's and women's sports and the need for, you know, let me give an example of what I said about Musk. You know, Joe Thomas offers free phone consultations, right? He's a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by just 1% of financial advisors in the world. So he's a top guy in the industry, and he's offering you a free phone consultation about your retirement. That's amazing. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He has in the history of humanity, and he didn't inherit this wealth in a trust fund. He built it. And he sends rockets into space for profit, even when some of them blow up and stuff, right? And he's saying to you, I'm the richest man in the world. I have incredible success in my business. I'm offering you in the government of the United States at no charge my advice on budgeting for free. I'm the richest man, and they're trying to tell us that Chip Roy, who knows more about things than Elon Musk on budgets? It's insanity.
Well, they seem totally delusional. They got the Whoopi Goldberg still trying to say J.D. Vance is trying to form a coup against Trump. They really, I don't want to say they missed the boat, but they
I mean, if you wanted to learn to play guitar, and Carlos Santana said, I'm going to give you some free lessons, would you say that I know more? I mean, this is what's going on here. Their argument is so stupid. I can't even hardly talk to these people.
The difference is that the American people are paying very close attention to this, and they are not promoting anything whatsoever. Are we on the verge of a political party? I'm not calling for their demise, but are they just going to be irrelevant? If they keep running the same thing they're running ever since the election.
Well, then that's what we want. That we want them that. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. It's the last run here, so I'm going to try to get as many on as I can. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Mike in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I watched a little bit of the circus and the theatrics last night with them trying to pass the spending bill. I wanted to pass along to your callers. I graduated from high school in 1977, and my econ teacher gave me a project to research out how government spending was wasteful. And you know what I found out? At that time, they were giving $3 million to people to wonder and to figure out how cows affected the atmosphere with methane.
Cow farts, yes. I think they're still studying that.
It's still studying it, Brian. $150 million in this bill was allocated to study cows and their farts.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
I agree. Okay, let's go. Where? I'm trying to take these in the order in which they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Frankie from Fort Lauderdale. Merry Christmas to you and Steve.
And to all a good night.
As far as this thing with God, I even forgot his name. So relevant. Maybe he wants to be like Trump and just say something outlandish just to get attention.
Well, Trump doesn't do that.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Trump will. He'll no news, bad news is good news. But I think he's desperate. There's something going on.
Who's desperate?
DeSantis. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Mm-hmm.
If Trump decides, hey, okay, then that's good. But I don't know. It's like he's trying to sneak in the back door. And you know what? Stay the governor of Florida. You're doing just fine. And
Really? I don't know. I was talking today. My homeowner's insurance went up again. Just got the notice in the mail. I don't think he's doing squat. Now, if I get hit by a hurricane, he's very good after hurricanes hit. I must say that. But yeah.
Last from the past. Whatever happened to Steve's old board op, Nick Lawrence? How come he doesn't have a show?
I don't want to tell people about the last time we heard from Nick. I don't think that's appropriate. You remember when something happened? No, it's I'm not gonna say that. We heard from him. Steve got a call from him in the middle of the night from someplace, asking him to do something. So that okay, that's it. Okay, that's a hint. But that was a long time ago. I'm sure he's okay now. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling? Where are you calling from?
This is Randy from Stewart.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, I totally agree with you with respect to Neil Cavuto. He's got that smug know-it-all, fair weather friend.
But you agree with Brian, not with me.
I do. And I also think the same thing about Geraldo Rivera, who's also a fair weather friend and also, would be on the side of whatever was in fashion. So I'm glad to see him go. So that's my take on that. Also, with respect to this tariff imbalance, have you guys ever been to Sawgrass Mills Mall?
Yes.
All the food in America, they fill up 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 suitcases before they go home.
They sell the suitcases at all the entrances of the Sawgrass Mills Mall.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the tariff. Anything made here, goes over there. They tariff the hell out of them. So all of a sudden, all Trump wants to do is correct that imbalance. So
They come here, they buy suitcases and fill them up with Levi's and stuff like that. Because the tariff is so high on Levi's down there. Yeah, it's true.
Exactly. So that's something that a lot of people don't get, and I think Trump's on the right with respect to that issue. So.
Absolutely. All right, good. You made a good point about that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Steve, Brian, JJ from Mass.
Hey.
JJ. Hey, good morning, Steve. This shutdown to me, I love it.
Me too.
It's sort of truth. It's sort of see behind the curtain, and who's really afraid of it is the Democrats, the rhinos, because it is it eliminates the perception of the government relevance. It plays into the hands of cutting all this fat. It really does play into the hands of America. We the people psychologically will just see, you know, the truth will set us free, and it's going to destroy the Democrats and the rhinos. I just love the hell out of it.
Well, the reality is what's going on is they owe the donors money. And the donors want their money. They just got them all reelected, the ones that are going to be there, and that's what it is. I mean, let's face it. They're under pressure to pay. The fat is the payoff to the donors.
You know what, Brian? Pay off the donors. How about paying us off right now? And what happened with the police? What happened this morning? You gonna tell?
Yeah, okay. I was driving to work behind a police car who was going a pretty good speed, but I was behind him, so I was cool. And then the police officer turned. So I kept going. I passed the cars in front of him, and I was going a little too, I was in a hurry, okay? I was a little, and I'm listening to the radio, and I heard this, and I look, and I don't see anything. So I'm like, oh, I thought it was coming from the radio. Then I heard it again, and well, it must be the radio. I get up to a light. It was I passed an unmarked police car going, should I say, what's the statute of limitations on speeding?
About 5-10 minutes once you leave.
80 miles an hour. I passed a police officer going 80 miles an hour on 441. And on 441. And he pulled up next to me at a light, and it's not necessary to go 80 miles an hour, man. You know that, right? I said, yes. So that's what. Oh, my goodness. Yes. It was a 45. All right, we're out of time. It's the Steve Kane Show. See you Monday morning at 6 a.m. Steve's here. I'm Brian. Take care. Have a great weekend.
WSFS 104.3 HD3.
Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're new, subscribe. All right? I'll see you later.